I think sometimes you forget that what you're doing is essentially creating relationships out of thin air. Do you want to stay grounded, less triggered, less annoyed, and mindful throughout your wedding process? Well, then, welcome. You've come to the right place. Hi, lovelies. Welcome back to our channel, and I'm super excited to introduce to you a brand new series, The Little Book of Mindful Wedding Planning, Ebook Walkthrough. I have linked the ebook in the description below where you can grab your own copy. In this series, we'll explore and dive deep into each chapter. So, if you're getting married or is close to someone who is getting married, or is just altogether into mindfulness, then this series is for you. Join us every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays as we journey through the little book of mindful wedding planning, chapter by chapter. Before we get on this week's chapter, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you can never miss an episode. Together, we'll create moments of mindfulness amidst the demands of wedding planning. Hello, lovelies. Yes, welcome back. We are now on chapter 16. Tip yourself. Let me read on. Tip yourself. So in your wedding binder, add an envelope or a sheet protector where you can insert cash. Every time you finish a task, make sure you tip yourself with cash. However much that amount will make sense to you. It can be $1 or $5 or even $10, as long as it's cash and it's visible. Here's why. It'll show yourself that you have done something good and that you're rewarding yourself. Essentially, not all money spent on the wedding is going out, because you can also see something going in and being deposited into your wedding binder. Mind tricks? Psychological bullshit? Maybe. Will this cause harm? Foul? Nope. Then it's worth a try. I've tipped Starbucks baristas way too many times than I should have. So maybe this time I'll embrace tipping myself. Okay, back in the day, I know I always say back in the day with my storytelling because I've been around. I worked a lot of jobs. Back in the day, there was the point where I was a server, and I feel like sometimes I look forward to a job mainly because, of course, I want to serve people at that time. You know, I was young and I had a lot of energy. I can chit chat. I can talk to anyone. I can have a good laugh, have a good joke. But more importantly, I know that after that interaction, after that session, after me serving someone, that of course they're going to pay the establishment, but also there's a really high chance and a good chance that they're going to tip me. There really is a good chance that they're going to tip me, because I would want to say that I did my best. I would want to say that I was pretty chatty. I would want to say that I was pretty entertaining. I mean, you came there for the food, but you also got entertainment. And I think obviously not all servers have the same mentality, but I knew that when they came there, I had to bring some type of entertainment. It doesn't mean I'm singing or dancing, but it just means that there is some type of joy while you're ordering your food, while you're having a conversation, while I'm giving you the specials of the day. And at the end of that, I knew that as much as it is my personality, that I've also worked hard, like to get to know someone, right? Like when you give the specials, it's not just like, oh yeah, we have this on tap and we have this and we have that. There is some type of conversation there where, well, what are you looking for? What is it about this specific drink that you enjoy? Maybe I can find something that's similar to that. Maybe I can suggest a new thing for you to try if you're feeling adventurous today. This is our appetizer for today. Do you like salmon? What I'm getting at is that there is some work involved in there, like real work. And at the end of that, I know that tip isn't just because, oh, they want to tip me. Like I know for a fact that they probably tip me because I also enjoyed the conversation with them. And half the time I know so I would serve a table. So for example, when the vibe is not there, I almost always know that they're probably not going to tip me because it wasn't there. And, sometimes they would, because I don't know where you are, but in Canada, it actually shows in the machine like 10%, 10, 15 or something like that. Like you have the option to choose. You have an option to choose what tip to give. And I would know always, like, they're probably not going to tip me at all because it wasn't even a good interaction. I did my best, but the vibe just wasn't there. But I still had to do my job. I think that concept has to be carried over somehow into your wedding planning because you're working so hard. Like you have to call this vendor, you have to create relationships. I think sometimes you forget that what you're doing is essentially creating relationships out of thin air. Like unless someone, even if someone actually referred someone to you in terms of like vendor or like a venue, you're still going to have to create that relationship. And that relationship didn't exist before. And now you have to call people and you end up talking more because you're going to talk more about the wedding plans. And so there's a lot of relationships created. That's pretty exhausting. And that's why I would say tip yourself. When you book a vendor or when you created something, however that system looks like for you, you have to also see something coming back to you. Like,
hey, I'm pretty good.
I had a good conversation with this person. I had a good relationship. We had a good chat. Like, I think things are working out with this person. Even if it weren't working out and you were to say, yeah, no, that vendor is not for me, that's still something that you did. You still eliminated that. You're filtering through your vendor list. And that's still a task, and you've still put in the effort for that. So you prepare that. Like, think of going to Starbucks. Like what I said in there. Like, I tip way too much at Starbucks sometimes, and I'm just like, I mean, sometimes I would go to Starbucks and work, and I would be there all day. Well, not all day, half day. Then I would have 2 drinks. Well, I already tipped you the first time. Do I have to tip you the second time around? But then I realized, well, it's probably a different person. They probably made my drink. And I also know that my drink isn't pretty standard. Like I would have specific things on my drink. So that takes a little bit of work to do. Maybe just like a tip of like 50 cents. You don't have to give so much. Or have a physical envelope or sheet protector where you deposit the money physically. Like it's just the action of you kind of like rewarding yourself and tipping yourself. Like you're putting in there and be just like, Maria, you did a good job today. Look at those tasks being checked off your list. Look at that.
You created a relationship out of thin air?
You've called 10 people? What? That's amazing. What? You got your Pinterest board all done up? That's amazing. Tip yourself. It's just this physical action, and also this physical action is talking to your brain and your self-esteem and your confidence. Be just like, yeah, really, I am amazing. Like I'm doing pretty good. It's like a reminder to yourself of how far you've come. You can adjust it the way you want to. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be cash. I mean, I would say cash is king. It's just important that you see that money going in because a lot of money is going out as you plan your wedding. And, I would get this thing again where people are just like, oh, that's just a waste of time. That's just, Delulu vibes. Like we don't do that. You just let you know what you're doing a good job. But sometimes nobody really is giving that to you. Sure, people will say, yeah, you did a good job. Yeah, that's great and all that. And magnificent, marvelous, amazing. Thank you. But it's important that you have your own system going for yourself so that you're not waiting for other people to tip you and to acknowledge your hard work. Because then that gets exhausting. You would have to tell everyone, hey, I did this. And sometimes not everyone is aware that you might want validation, that you might want to be rewarded, acknowledged. You can give that to yourself. You don't have to wait on other people. Other people's acknowledgement, validation, gratefulness, thankfulness is extra. That's great. But you have to have some type of system for you and where you also tip yourself. Give yourself some cash, $1, a quarter, whatever that looks like for you. Just a little visible thing that you give to yourself because you're doing amazing. Look how far you've come. Look at all this work. You're doing amazing. Tip yourself. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Little Book of Mindful Wedding Planning series. Your comments, questions, and support mean the world to us. And I can't wait to hear from you in the comments section below. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you can never miss an episode. If you found today's episode valuable, please give it a thumbs up so it can reach more people. Thank you so much, lovelies. See you on the next episode. Bye!